I'm here with Calvary Day coach Jackie Hamilton.
4 games, and they've changed the schedule of the games.
That game is Thursday at 7. If Beach wins, they will be playing the very next.
Welcome to another edition of Holding Court.
Welcome everyone to a special season-ending Savannah Morning News Player of the Year edition of Holding Court. I'm Rich McGowan alongside Don Heath. And Don, one of the things we get the most feedback on throughout the year is the selection process for our Savannah Morning News Player of the Year. You are handling the boys. You've been covering them all year. Talk us through your thought processes as you put together the first team and selecting the Player of the Year.
Well, I talked to a lot of coaches around the region, talked to people who watch a lot of basketball games. Hopefully we get their statistics from their coaches, and then we make a decision on who we think is first team, second team, third team.
And Player of the Year is?
And the Player of the Year in the boys is Keenan Reddy of Groves. Keenan had quite a season for the Groves Rebels. They finished 28-2, and Keenan was a big reason why. He averaged 17 points a game, a key on the boards, and anybody who watched him play saw him get out on the break, and you could catch 2 or 3 or 4 dunks just about every game.
But Groves was so loaded this year. They had a lot of talent. I mean, you could make just a strong case for Brandon Mobley, who is also a tremendous talent. Talk about how did you split hairs between the two?
I did. Brandon had a great season. His numbers were down a little bit, believe it or not. He averaged 11 points a game and 9 rebounds. He was a big part of that team. Came over from Windsor Forest, transferred at the beginning of the season. But I think Keenan kind of made the team go and picked up his scoring average, and Keenan was a key player.
So Brandon Mobley on that first team. Who else did you put on that first team, and why?
Well, Keenan's our Player of the Year. Brandon is on the first team, and Brandon, like I said, averaged about 11 points a game, 9.4 rebounds. He's going to Division I college. He hasn't made up his mind yet, but he's looking at Miami, Oregon, Southeast Missouri, Cincinnati. So he's got some great opportunities ahead, and he was a key player for Groves too. That was a big pickup for them.
And a couple pretty talented players over in Liberty County, both on first team.
Absolutely. Ryan Brown headed to Miami, so you can tell how good these guys are just by where they're going. Jordan McCrae's headed to Tennessee. Jordan, Ryan, and Brandon were all nominated to the McDonald All-America team. Jordan averaged 22 points a game, I believe, and Ryan was about 23 points a game. And they led Liberty County to a 27-2 record.
Absolutely. A bit of a disappointing run for that team, though, in the playoffs. They were upset at home by Doherty County in the second round of the playoffs. But, I mean, those two
you were a common denominator in some of these teams getting knocked off, weren't you?
I am the eliminator, absolutely. But honestly, that game, I was there. Ryan Brown was playing with a fever, was sicker than a dog, but still gutted it out. And Jordan McCrae had a phenomenal game. I think he scored 37 points in that last game. So even though they lost early, you certainly could not blame those two whatsoever. I mean, they're an outstanding duo, and a couple other talented players on that first team, Jabri Bryan and Jarrell Smith.
Jabri Bryan led Benedictine to unparalleled heights this season. The cadets went to the state playoffs for the first time in 33 years, and Jabri obviously was a big reason why. Averaged 17.4 and made it to the North-South Georgia Athletic Coaches Association All-Star game this season. Jarrell Smith has already signed a Division I scholarship. He's going to Radford next season. Anybody who saw him shoot noticed the moment he walked in the gym, he was in range, shooting range, and often shot when he was
not afraid to shoot.
No, not afraid to shoot from any distance, and a great three-point shooter. I think he led our area in three-point goals, 53 in the season, averaged 16.5 a game.
And let's talk about the Coach of the Year. You went with Jeff Grimes of Groves, and let me ask, when you have a team as loaded as Groves was this year, how much pressure does that put on a coach, and a first-year coach at that, and Jeff Grimes? I mean, it was a quality coaching job he did this year.
They were the favorites, Groves, and everybody thought that right from the get-go. And Grimes comes in, and he has to mold a whole group of players that he doesn't even know. And he did a great job. They went undefeated in the Region 3-5A. and advanced to the Elite Eight and lost by one.
A heartbreaker at the end, yep. Buzzer beater.
To Newton. A difficult loss, but that was one of the better teams that we've had in Savannah in probably 4 or 5 years.
And I think one of the more impressive things about Grimes' job is the fact it was his first year. And when you have a new coach coming in that players don't know, they're going to push him. They're going to, press his buttons, try to see what they can and can't get away with. And that can be a very difficult thing for a first-year coach on a talent-laden team, and he handled that perfectly, I thought.
Right. A lot of times a coach comes in and players they know that they're the stars, and they say, why are you telling me what to do? Don't you know how good I am? He took all those egos and was a nice calming factor for that team, and everybody got their minutes. People learned how to share the basketball, which is a very difficult thing. Basketball is a team game, and you better have the team playing as a unit. And Grimes did all that, and he got the most out of Groves this season.
All right.